Hi, I'm Jimmy. Welcome to another episode of the Hitman Absolution Let's Play. In this episode, we're doing Run for Your Life, and so after the last episode, we get up to the hotel room and to confront Blake Dexter, and it doesn't go well, and the hotel is set afire, and we are forced to escape. I'm skipping the cutscenes in this series, but if you want to see this cutscene followed by a brutal takedown of all the problems with this cutscene and the story of this game generally, there's a great video the spoiler warning channel did. I'm going to link to it in the description, but it's just a great examination of like all the problems that happen in that cutscene. It's the story of Hitman Absolution is a bit of a mess, and that cutscene in particular was not great. So, but yeah, so here we're also beginning to see more of the problems with the game. This is our fourth mission in. This is going to be another mission where we have to sneak around and move from point A to point B. And there's just we've done a lot of that. We had 4 missions and we've killed 1 target so far. So it's a Hitman game where you don't do any hits. You've done 1 hit so far. And it's a lot of sneaking around, getting from point A to point B. Not a very typical Hitman experience. So as I was saying, not a typical Hitman experience, and this level in particular feels more like it belongs in an action game.
Area secure. No sign.
Not so much in a stealth game or a Hitman game.
Everything clear.
So yes, now we are on the run from the cops because they think we committed murder, which is very funny that we are on the run for the cops from the one murder we did not commit in the game. Here I'm gonna take this cop's disguise. Oh, this is also as we're saying goodbye to the suit, this is where the Terminus suit comes from. If you played Hitman World of Assassination, there's a Terminus suit you can unlock, and it's from this level. It's the beat up, torn, burned. So it's a classic Hitman suit, but it's been torn and beat up and singed. This is the level where that suit comes from. So I'm just waiting for the cop to move out of the way. While during the time skip, the power went out and the lights went off in the library, so that's why it went dark. This is also, like, I talked a bit about the instinct, the changes the addition of instinct in this game, and how one of the things you used instinct for is to sort of blend in. How they've basically sort of crippled the disguise system in the game, so the disguises don't really work. And this is why, if the disguise system worked the same as it does in Blood Money, I would just grab that cop disguise and I would be free for the rest of the level. I would just walk through the whole level. I would never be trespassing. I would never run into problems. It would just become a walking simulator at that point. So they need to force you to do stealth even when you have a disguise. They can't take out disguises because what's a Hitman game without disguises? But at the same time, they have to make it so that the disguises don't really work that well. Otherwise, you just grab the first disguise that's available, and then the rest of the level is a walking simulator. So that's why they sort of add this whole instinct system where other NPCs that have the same outfit as you can see through the disguise, and then you use instinct to let yourself blend in. So basically in Absolution, you don't get a disguise to hide yourself, you get a disguise so you can use instinct in order to hide yourself. And here now we are fleeing across the rooftop and trying to hide from the helicopter. And here I made a mistake and got spotted, but I'm not really worrying about it. I'm mostly playing through the game stealthy, but in that level it doesn't really matter. I mean, everyone can already see through my disguise anyway, so what does it matter if my cover is blown? It doesn't actually change anything about how the game plays. I'm trying to avoid getting spotted by the helicopter a second time, and also try to avoid getting spotted by these cops. Here, going to use the instinct again. So yeah, as I was saying, it makes sense why they sort of broke the disguise system and then added an instinct system sort of on top of it to patch it. But it, yeah, it doesn't make for a great gameplay experience. It would have been, like I said, this game would have been better if they had stuck to more traditional Hitman levels where you have a target. And we see from the Chinatown mission, and we'll see from other later missions, that they can make Hitman levels in this game. They just, for some reason, they decided that, you know, more than half the levels should be using stealth to get from point A to point B, and there's nothing else to the level. And the other thing you'll notice is this is very linear. There's a few places where you can take a couple paths, but for most of these levels, you just have one route that you can take. It was also not very satisfying to play through. So I'm just waiting for the cops ahead to move, and now I can follow behind them. Yeah. The good news is the next level we will have some targets to kill, so that would be something to look forward to. Oh, the other problem I wanted to comment on, it's sort of obvious now that World of Assassination is out, but in this game the instinct system is just doing too much. Like, you use it for all the same things you used for in World of Assassination. Like, it lets you see through walls, it highlights targets for you, it lets you see where the NPCs are, lets you see objects you can interact with, but it also slows down time and lets you sort of blend in to maintain your disguise.
Hey! What? Like the uniform, do you?
And it feels like those should be separate functionalities. It feels like it'd be nice if there was a button that did a traditional World of Assassination style instinct, and a separate button that sort of did the sort of blend in mechanic that lets you, you know, use your disguise the way it's supposed to be used. But the fact that those are both bound on the same button means that you can't really use instinct without depleting this resource. As you can see on the lower right, there's a resource I'm using up whenever I need to blend in. And it's frustrating to be using up that resource when you don't mean to, because you want to see if you can interact with an object, or you want to see where the guards are. Oh yeah, that was a fun mechanic in this level. You can sort of turn on the music, and then all the cops will go have a party. So yeah, taking another elevator down. Oh yes, that was another sort of funny, like, strange coincidence in this level. Is we're in a hotel room, we're you know, get framed for murder, and then the cops are after us because we are wanted for murder, and they're there to catch us. But then we end up escaping from the burning building where the cops are chasing us, and we end up in a different building where the cops are coincidentally doing a drug bust. So it just seems like a really sort of odd coincidence that just, oh yeah, you were fleeing from the cops and you happen to run into more cops. And now we're at the train station and there are more cops, but these cops are after you. These cops are trying to find the murderer who got away from them in the Terminus Hotel. And it seems like there was an opportunity there to, like, do something different. But I don't know. I mean,
Sorry, sir. You have to leave here.
there's a lot of things I feel like they could have done differently with this game. So here we are. Oh, that's the other interesting thing. This game has, well, as we saw when we were going through the drug den with the marijuana plants, is this game has mechanics that let you hide in foliage and blend in with crowds. That's notable because that's a mechanic that was missing in Hitman 2016. That was something they had in this game, but for whatever reason didn't add it in the first of the new games, and it was only added back when they released Hitman 2. So Hitman 2 and 3 have these mechanics. That's what I mean when I say, you know, Absolution was, for the most part, you know, had mostly good, like, changes to the mechanics. Like, with the exception of the instinct and the disguise system, most of the changes to the mechanics in Absolution were an improvement over Blood Money. It's just the sort of level design and the sort of awkward linear sneak from point A to point B levels that sort of really drag on and cause the game to suffer.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they can do that. They're the police. Come on.
So I'm going to go over and grab this machine, and I've got a blend spot here where we can hide. And just wait for the cop to walk by me again. Then I can stop hiding and continue to sneak through the crowd. So yeah, the cops have shut down the trains. They've stopped all the trains through the station because they're looking for Agent 47 and they're hoping to catch him. So we had to, you know, change the light so that the trains will actually stop at the station. And now we just need to get on this platform and wait for the next train. And here we're going to sneak through the crowd. And yeah, use a bit of instinct so the cop doesn't spot us. And yeah, there now we can just hide in the crowd and wait for the train to come. And here the train is about to show up. And once we get on the train, that'll be the end of the level. So I'm going to use a little more instinct to sneak past these cops and make it onto the train.
That guy.
And that's it. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.